From the moment he debuted for the Eels at the age of 18 in 2006, Jarryd Hayne had the sporting world at his feet. The son of South Sydney, Western Suburbs, Auckland Warriors, and Fiji Test star Mano Thompson made an immediate impact very early into his career, bagging 17 tries from 16 games in his maiden NRL season. With a lucrative career in the palm of his hands, it seemed as though nothing could hold him back. Then, on the 6th of May, 2021, Hayne learned the hard way that his actions have consequences. From rugby league royalty with million-dollar foodie contracts, to sewing clothes and working in a prison laundry room, the fall from grace for Jarryd Hayne has been one of the biggest in NRL history. Let's take a look at the early days of Hayne's career and hopefully get a better understanding of what direction his career was headed in and everything that he lost. But before we dive into the video, it would mean a lot if you subscribed and turned on the notifications. In 2006, the beginning of Hayne's professional career. It took him 3 games to get going in terms of 4-pointers, but he made up for lost time quickly, scoring 17 tries in his first 16 NRL appearances, including 4 in one game against the Knights in only his 7th appearance. In 2007, Hayne would ride that form all the way to the NSW Origin Arena, where he went on to represent the Blues for a total of 20 times. Although he went on to do a great deal in the Interstate Cauldron, it is impossible to overlook the play he made barely 40 minutes into his first game. Halfway through the first half, Hayne reels in a Maroons grubber and outpaces center Justin Hodges as he tiptoes down the sideline. He then places the ball on the toe before gathering his teammates for a spectacular Origin try, all after the halftime siren had rung. In 2008, Hayne's season was cut short by injury and suspension, which robbed him a third of his games and a critical Origin match against the Blues when the Blues were leading the series 1-0. The shooting event that took place at King's Cross hung over his head like a cloud all season, and the Eels ended up coming 11th in the competition, which is a dismal finish for them. Nonetheless, by the time the World Cup comes around, he's back to performing his brilliant best for Fiji, scoring 3 rising 4 games and laying the way for what was to come. In 2009, Hayne's most impressive year of performance. From an incredible chip and chase, his try at Kogarah to help down minor premiers the Dragons in the first week of the finals, or just the fact that he pulled the maximum 18 points from 6 incredible weeks to claim the 2009 Dally M medal, Hayne was unstoppable, leaving the media in a frenzy. In 2010, even though at this point Hayne has predictably sunk from the enormous heights achieved a year earlier, and the Eels were struggling, he was still more than capable of those long-range runs that left half a Panthers side with no chance, not to mention some especially desperate defense in the line, and at fullback, which he did admirably. In 2011, Hayne's transition to the 5'8" position began to take full effect in 2011. As a result, Hayne was moved back to fullback in the final game of the season, where he produced an incredible long-range effort against the Titans, outrunning noted speedster David Mead in the process. In 2012, an injury-plagued season for Hayne resulted in him missing half of the season, making this one of his less successful seasons. Despite the fact that he scored 8 tries in 12 games and played in the whole Origin series, his injury issues first surfaced during the warm-up for Origin 3, when a foot ailment forced him to miss 3 weeks of action following the match. His return in round 20 was important in the Eels' surprise victory over Melbourne. In 2013, Hayne and the Eels would have another disappointing season as a result of hamstring issues. The club went on to finish with a second consecutive wooden spoon. With a hat trick against the Warriors to start the year, Hayne only crossed the line for 5 more points as a result of his injury that limited him to only 15 games this season. In 2014 would be Hayne's best season in 5 years. Hayne would go on to win his second Dally M medal with Jonathan Thurston, his first Origin series win in 8 attempts, including a man of the match performance in Origin I, the Brad Fiddler medal for being his best player alongside Ryan Hoffman, and finished the season as the No's leading try scorer with 20 memorable efforts in 21 games, including a man of the match performance in Origin I. In 2015, the start of his downfall, Hayne left the NRL to try out for the San Francisco 49ers in the NFL, where he played 8 games as our running back and kick returner before eventually being kicked off the team. Trey Wingo, a well-known sports presenter, thinks that Hayne's strength was his downfall because he couldn't adapt his game to fit the physical demands of the foreign game. In 2016, on the 2nd of August 2016, it was announced that Hayne would be returning to the NRL, signing a 2-year contract with the Gold Coast Titans. His contract was said to have been as much as $1.2 million a season, the most any NRL player has been paid in 1 year. In 2017, Hayne was involved in a public feud with Gold Coast coach Neil Henry. The board decided to terminate Henry. Later in the year, on the 30th of November, Hayne was granted a release from the final year of his contract. On the 1st of December, Hayne joined his old club, the Parramatta Eels. In 2018, On the 11th of March 2018, Hayne played his 200th NRL game in his first game back for Parramatta. Hayne finished 2018 with a club best 10 rise from 15 appearances, as well as topping the Parramatta charts for line breaks and tackle busts. Hayne's assault charge. On the 19th of November 2018, Hayne was charged with aggravated sexual assault and inflicting actual bodily harm for an alleged incident that took place in the Newcastle region on the 30th of September 2018. Parramatta finished 2018 with their third wooden spoon in just 7 seasons. And although he went public about his desire to re-sign with the Parramatta club, they held back on making him an offer due to these allegations. Hayne would never play another NRL game again. On the 25th of July 2019, Hayne pleaded not guilty to rape charges in relation to the incident. On the 22nd of March 2021, Hayne was found guilty of 2 counts of sexual intercourse without consent. On the 6th of May 2021, Hayne was sentenced to a maximum of 5 years and 9 months with an on parole period of 3 years and 8 months. We can say this has been a great career for Jarryd Hayne with a devastating ending. Thank you, and if you have made it this far, and if you liked the video, make sure you smash that like button and comment your thoughts on Jarryd Hayne.